A big congratulations to everyone who took the February LSAT. I hope that you crushed it. If you're confident that you did, it's time to switch gears and focus on your application essays. And this cycle's a little bit different than previous cycles due to the Supreme Court's ban on affirmative action. Law schools have replaced their former diversity statements with adversity statements and other optional essays, prompting you to share a bit about your perspective. Some of these prompts are unique to the school, meaning it's not easy to reuse the same essays for multiple schools. So it's time to get started on these essays ASAP since we're already towards the end of this application cycle. Now, given that it may be more work to write all these different essays for all these different schools, some applicants are applying to fewer schools to reduce their workload. I don't recommend taking this approach because the more schools you apply to, the more scholarship negotiation leverage you will have, the more offers you will have to play schools off each other to maximize your aid offers. So investing that effort and time and money potentially in your application essays is the biggest ROI you could possibly get at this point in time now that you're done with the LSAT. If you'd like help working on those application essays for all these different schools, my team and I would be glad to support you. I have a great team of editors, and we offer a unique service where we give you unlimited edits and revisions for all of your application essays, every document you submit, including personal statements, optional essays, addenda, resume, even help requesting letters of rec. We help you with all of that, as many rounds of edits and revisions as you need for all of your documents. And even if you don't yet have a rough draft, we can help you create one. Of course, we're not going to write the essays for you, but rather we will take your words and help you craft them into strong, compelling narratives. Now, if you're not so confident about how the February LSAT went, if you're considering a retake, of course, there are a couple more test dates on the horizon for this testing cycle. We have both April and June coming up. These are also notably the two last administrations with the logic game section. Starting with the August LSAT, it's removing the logic game section and replacing it with a second scored logical reasoning section. So if you're certain that you want to take the LSAT with the games, April and June are your last two opportunities. April, roughly 2 months away, June, roughly 4 months away. Both of these test dates are typically going to be too late to apply this admission cycle. So I would recommend by default that you take the exam in those dates and then apply at the very beginning of the cycle in the fall to maximize your chances of getting in, along with getting significant scholarship money. You can also then take the LSAT with the games in April or June, and then take the LSAT without the games in August and beyond, and see how you do on each version of the test. Of course, there will be some differences for different folks. If you have a STEM background or are a non-native English speaker, you're likely to do especially well on the games relative to others. And if you have a humanities background, you may have a bit more trouble with the games on average, but of course your mileage may vary, so try it out for yourself and see which one you do better on or worse on. Of course, law schools do not penalize you for taking the LSAT multiple times, and they don't care whether you take the LSAT with the games or without the games. They just care about that big number out of 180, and law schools have no incentive to care about how many times you took the LSAT because they are only evaluated based on the highest LSAT score of their matriculating students. This is what is reported to the American Bar Association, which in turn is taken by US News for creating the ever-important law school rankings. So again, law schools do not average multiple LSAT scores. They only take the highest score, and they don't care if you take it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times or beyond. Of course, there are some LSAT retake limits, like taking the LSAT only 5 times in 5 years, 7 times for life, but most students are not likely to run into those limits. Anyway, folks, that's all for now. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to see it. I don't do any advertising for this channel. I rely only on word of mouth to help get the word out, and your sharing this video really does make a big difference. And if you're taking the LSAT in April, June, or beyond, please reach out. I'm looking for a couple of students aiming to achieve a 170 or above on the LSAT on those test dates, but I do have a few criteria for students who work with me privately one-on-one. I'm looking for you to have scored a 160 or above on at least one time practice test, and that you've built a strong foundation in the basics of the LSAT, the different sections, and the different question types. If this describes you, check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. And if you're not yet there are a variety of other ways I could support you, including our small group coaching program where we have live online sessions via Zoom, on-demand video courses as well. And if you're just getting started, check out my book, Mastering the LSAT, available at lsatmasterybook.com. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.